Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to share with you my research on the intriguing topic of schizophrenia and how psychoanalytic therapy can offer a unique perspective in addressing the complex interplay between psychotic symptoms, ego functioning, and self identity. Through this presentation, we will explore how psychodynamic approaches grounded in the theories of Freud and his successors provide valuable insight into the treatment of this challenging disorder. So, first, we're going to delve into the overview of schizophrenia. And let's start with an introduction. So, schizophrenia is a severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. It often manifests through symptoms like delusions, hallucinations, disorganized thinking, and impaired functioning. What makes schizophrenia particularly challenging is its profound impact on an individual's sense of self and reality. So, this presentation will explore how these symptoms are connected to deeper psychological processes, particularly those related to the ego and self identity. So, let's talk about influences of schizophrenia. So, schizophrenia's development is complex, influenced by a variety of factors. Genetically, those with a family history of the disorder are at a higher risk, and with environmental factors such as prenatal exposure to viruses or severe childhood trauma also play a critical role. Neurobiological influences, including the dopamine hypothesis and structural brain abnormalities, further complicate the picture, indicating that schizophrenia is a multifaceted disorder with no single cause. So, let's look at current treatments for schizophrenia. So, treatment for schizophrenia traditionally begins with antipsychotic medication. First generation antipsychotics, primarily dopamine antagonists, were the first line of defense, but often came with significant side effects, such as tardive dyskinesia. Second generation antipsychotics, which target a broader range of neurotransmitters, offer improved outcomes with fewer side effects. However, even with these advances, these treatments primarily manage symptoms rather than addressing the underlying psychological issues. So, this is where psychoanalysis comes in, and more particularly, psychoanalytic therapy. So, psychoanalysis is a theory of psychology used to understand the development of human psyche and the different functions of the human brain. Primarily focused on the conscious and unconscious mind, psychoanalytic therapy emphasizes the exploration of the unconscious mind. So, it seeks to uncover hidden conflicts and unresolved traumas that shape an individual's thoughts and behaviors. Techniques like free association, where patients speak freely about whatever comes to mind, dream analysis, which interprets the symbolism in dreams, and transference, which we'll get into later in this slideshow, is where patients project feelings onto the therapist. And those are all tools used to bring these unconscious elements to light for therapists to analyze. So now let's look at the psychoanalytic understanding of the ego. The concept of the ego in psychoanalysis serves as a mediator between our primitive desires, or the id, our moral conscious, the superego, and the external world. In schizophrenia, ego functioning is severely compromised. Reality testing becomes unreliable, and the individual's sense of self can be fragmented. This fragmentation is central to the distress experienced by individuals with schizophrenia, as their identity and connection to reality becomes increasingly unstable. So let's dive deeper into the heart of our discussion, and let's look at psychodynamic treatments for schizophrenia. Unlike traditional approaches that focus primarily on symptom management, psychodynamic therapy seeks to explore the deeper layers of the psyche, focusing on the unconscious mind, early relationships, and the defense mechanisms individuals may have developed in response to trauma or internal conflict. The primary goal of psychodynamic therapy is to strengthen the ego, helping individuals navigate the complex interplay between their internal world and external reality. So, by addressing these unresolved conflicts and traumas, the therapy aims to integrate fragmented aspects of the self, which thereby improves reality testing and fosters a more cohesive sense of identity. So, one of the key techniques in psychodynamic therapy is exploring transference. where the patient projects feelings about important figures from their past onto the therapist, revealing hidden conflicts and unresolved emotions that may contribute to the symptoms of schizophrenia. Similarly, countertransference, where the therapist reflects on their own emotional responses to the patient, can provide valuable insights into the therapeutic process. The therapeutic alliance, which is the relationship between the therapist and the patient, becomes a crucial aspect of the therapy process, offering a safe space where patients can explore their thoughts and feelings, which gradually rebuilds trust in their own perceptions and in others. This approach recognizes that recovery from schizophrenia is not solely about managing symptoms, but about restoring a sense of self and a connection to the world, which offers a more nuanced and personalized path to healing. Let's take a look at a case study. So, um, this case study involved a man in his late 60s who developed late onset schizophrenia after losing his family in a terrorist attack. He experienced auditory and visual hallucinations, and despite evidence to the contrary, he believed his family was still alive. He required assistance with daily tasks and displayed delusional beliefs, likely as a defense mechanism against the severe trauma he endured. Now, this case really highlights how schizophrenia can disrupt the ego, leading to fragmented reality testing and a deteriorating sense of self. So, one thing that really stuck out about this case was that the patient showed mild impairment on cognitive testing, and if you take a look at the graph, these are all other patients that have been tested with schizophrenia. The red lines display patients with schizophrenia, and the green line displays the control. So we can see that in most of the graphs, patients or the red line is lower on the graph than the green line, which also mirrors this impairment on cognitive testing. Let's look at a disease overview and conclusions. So, key findings from our exploration kind of suggest that psychoanalytic therapy provides a valuable framework for understanding the psychological complexities of schizophrenia. When combined with medication, it may offer a more holistic approach to treatment. Research supports the effectiveness of psychodynamic therapy in treating deep seated psychological issues, offering long term benefits that go beyond symptom management. While this approach has traditionally been a minority viewpoint in schizophrenia treatment, there's growing evidence that it can play a crucial role, especially when integrated with other modalities like medication. Now, future research should really focus on how we can combine these approaches to provide more comprehensive care for individuals with schizophrenia, ultimately helping them achieve a more stable and fulfilling life. Thank you all for your attention and engagement throughout this presentation. I hope this exploration of the psychodynamic approach to schizophrenia has provided with new insights into the complexities of the human mind. Thank you.